In the year 2000. Yeah, here we are. That was a little Spinal Tap reference because there's going to be a couple of them in this review, which is of the KINERA CELEST Plutus Beast. It is a 1 bone conduction, 1 balanced armature, and 1 square planar driver configuration. Oh yeah. Yeah, I do believe it's the first of its kind in this actual configuration. Boy, is it interesting. This one goes to 11. Well, can't you just make 10 louder? But this one goes to 11. Well, let me tell you guys, by the way, hello beautiful people, welcome back to another edition of Bangs Audio Reviews. This is your host, Chris Bangs. Fully recovered from strep at this point, which is great because, man, that took a long time. But I'm back. So, Plutus Beast. This is my first KINERA product, my first KINERA CELEST. I believe that CELEST being like the second label of KINERA, right? The more affordable stuff, so to speak. But that being said, I kind of like look at this the same as I look at the wine industry in some respects, and I'll explain why. Some of the top wines in the world, produced in Bordeaux or Burgundy or the Finger Lakes of New York, I'm saying it now, they produce their top line, their TOTL wines, and they're very particular as to what grapes, what juice, everything that goes into it. But the things that don't make the cut go into a second or a third label, and they still have the pedigree of that top wine. So what I'm saying is, I think that CELEST, probably safe to say, still has the pedigree. In other words, the R&D and the production and the QC and all of that good stuff is there. It's just a lot less expensive. And probably not as good. I mean, that would be the point, right? But anyway, I digress. $89 set. Tribrid configuration with the bone conduction and the planar and the BA. I did everything I could to figure out what BA they use in this, but I could not locate the information. But from what I can tell, it's a pretty good one. So, the CELEST Plutus Beast. It's got a really cool design. Let's see if I can zoom in on this a little bit for you, or maybe the iems themselves. I got them in the gold. They're sparkly. I love sparkly stuff. And there's reddish, orangish tinge in there as well. Very royal looking, which makes sense, because the Plutus Beast, 9th son of the Dragon King in Chinese folklore. So he represents a lot of really cool things like family unity and balance and loyalty and like fierceness and strength, wealth, good fortune. I got these for a reason. I could kind of use all of that like we all could at this point. So hoping that, little genie pops out of this IEM for me and grants me 3 wishes. Sorry, I'm really off track today, but I'll try to focus back in. What comes in the box is this carrying case, which is faux leather, and it's small. It's very pocketable. Like you have to sort of finagle the IEMs in there to make it feel like they're not getting squished a little bit. But if you get them side by side and the cable around them, they're fine, totally fine. So I do appreciate the fact that this is small enough to pocket, because a lot of cases these days aren't. Comes with the brush, comes with 2 sets of ear tips, a normal bore, sort of gray silicone with the pinkish red interior, and then what I'm using on them is their wider bore, and there's a reason for that, because the Plutus Beast, as you might imagine, with that bone conduction driver, is a base beast, basically, is what I'm saying. it's a bass beast. I mean, they go to 11 for sure. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Cable, nice. Choice of 4.4 or 3.5. You guys all know at this point that I go 4.4 just about every time. That's it. It's a nice box. It's a nice presentation. You know, I mean, nothing more than you need. It's not super fancy, but I mean, it's nice. Like it's very, I don't know. It's a nice unboxing experience. A couple of bags here. I think maybe, if I'm not mistaken, the iems came in these separate bags, which was nice, you know, for travel. Keep them from bumping into each other too much. This is going to be a different review for me in some respects, because by luck or by design, I'm not really sure which, or by listening to other reviewers before making purchases up to a certain point, the sets that I've gotten have been kind of all around sets. Like you can they're cross genre sets. Like you don't have, it's not like excluding, well, you can listen to this on it but not that, you can listen to this on it but not that. This is the first time I'm going to say that these are not all rounders, and they're not going to be for everybody, and that is just my honest opinion. Do I love them? Yeah, I think they're freaking amazing. I think, again, way over deliver for the price. I think they're nicely accessorized considering their price, and I 100% will recommend them. I'm not even going to wait till the end of the video, but with a caveat. These play my metal library perfectly. I mean, because let's be honest, if you're listening to metal, you enjoy intensity. And a lot of the metal that I listen to, it's not the most intense metal. Like there's more, you know, like that kind of stuff out there that I just don't get into. But Meshuggah ain't light. You know, like they're heavy. Lamb of God is not light. Okay, they're heavy. They're on the heavy end of the metal spectrum. And the Plutus Beast is just a freaking beast with it. I mean, if you listen to metal, you should have these. Now, I will also say that if you listen to hip hop, you should also have these, because of that bass response, because it's just so freaking satisfying. Now, probably this is the most V-shaped IEM I have, and it's not that the mids aren't there at all, they're just recessed, because the bass stands out first, the treble comes second, and then the mids come third. So it really is, to me anyway, more of that V shape than I'm personally used to. Because I like some mids, just not too much. Believe me, not too much. I just found that if I tried to listen to jazz, it didn't sound quite right. If I tried to listen to classical, like Vivaldi or good old Anna and Dido's Lament, it just wasn't quite there. Probably because of the recessed mids and just things not sounding super natural or focused enough or whatever. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. These are meant for intense music. Now, if you've got a full-on orchestra like playing the Battle of 1812, yeah, they're probably good for that. I didn't try it. Maybe I will after the video. But, you know, the music's got to be intense because the IEMs are intense. And if the music is not intense, if it's like K-pop or if it's like, you know, acoustic or, you know, folk music or whatever, it's just not going to do these justice. The song is not going to do the IEMs justice, and the IEMs are not going to do the song justice. It's just not a good match. Okay, and I'm just going to say it. So even though I highly recommend them, because what I love about them, I freaking love about them, I'm not going to say they're for everybody, and that's just me being honest. I think some people will find these too intense. That being said, I'm sure there's enough people out there who will love them. because what they do incredibly well. I would like to keep this one short because there's really not a lot else to say about them except that I think that they're great at what they do, which I've said now 17 times. Plutus Beast, $89. Hi-Fi Go. I'll link it in the description. And I wish you and your family and your loved ones and your friends and everybody good health and, of course, nothing but peace to you. Take care.